to the City of Joliet pre-council meeting here Monday, January 5th at 5:30. Proceeding over the meeting will be our mayor, who is, how do I say it in Spanish? Juan?
Huh?
How do I say that he's the mayor in Spanish?
El mayor.
You gotta say it into the mic.
alcalde.
I don't know how to say it. Now you're making me say it now.
All right, Mayor Taylor Darcy.
You don't know him?
Alcalde.
Alcalde?
Thank you.
I don't have I thought you guys had an inside.
There you go.
Something going.
Yes.
I need Caesar.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy.
Here.
Councilman Cardenas.
Here.
Councilman Clement.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Here.
Councilman Moreno.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
Okay, next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak on an agenda item this evening?
Good evening, guys. Happy New Year's to you all. 2026. We hope that this is the great year for us all. On this one, these agenda items about this agreement, the boundary agreement between Joliet and Elwood, you know, I want to say this, and I know you all know it, that how much land you guys have annexed into Joliet that used to be Elwood territory and everything. And everything you guys have been doing, past councils have been doing, has been affecting everybody in Elwood and the surrounding, you know, areas and that over there. Because now instead of having fields next door, now they got a warehouse next to their houses and everything. And it is just affecting people's lives so much. And I know I keep saying it, but I'm sorry, it's reality. This is what's happening, and you guys need to start, you know, trying to get so big. You know, maybe it's bigger is not better, you know, as you guys are finding out with all the problems that come with expanding your city. You know, you got extra costs for your police and everything, which you don't have adequate police to cover and everything, and then the surrounding citizens keep getting affected by this. You know, me on top of it all. So I just want to say, you know, you guys got to start thinking about the residents and stop thinking about the businesses. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak on an agenda item? Okay. Next, we will have the city manager review tomorrow night's actionable items.
Okay, we'll start with the consent agenda. Council Memo 126. Approval of purchase of one LP35 cardiac monitor and 3 LP1000s AEDs from Stryker Medical in the amount of $59,847.12 for our fire department. Council Memo 226, approval of purchase of 110 additional sets of firefighter turnout gear from Air One Equipment in the amount of $398,310. That's also for the fire department. Council Memo 326, approval of the 2026 rock salt purchase contract with the state of Illinois and Morton Salt for bulk rock salt at the average unit price of $67.20 per ton for a not to exceed amount of $470,375. Council Memo 426, approval of purchase of one Elgin Broom Bear sweeper from Standard Equipment Company in the amount of $448,690. So this sweeper is needed to replace one that went out of service last year. The last one was 20 years old, so we need a new one. Council Memo 526, approval of change order number 1 for the 2025 unleaded fuel purchases to Al Warren Oil Company in the amount of $120,837. This is additional fuel purchase. Council Memo 626, approval of change order number 1 for the 2025-26 sidewalk maintenance contract to PT Farrow Construction in the amount of $51,004.14. It's just a balancing of quantities. Council Memo 726, approval of change order number 1 for the 2024 bituminous surface treatment contract A to AC Pavement Striping Co. an increase in the amount of $9,421.60, and payment number 2 and final in the amount of $9,650. Council Memo 826, approval of change order number 3 for the 2024 sidewalk curb replacement project, East Joliet contract to Davis Concrete Construction in the amount of $22,065.40, and payment number 4 and final in the amount of $30,936.68. This is also a balancing of, final balancing of quantities. Council Memo 926, approval of amendment number 2 for the Phase 2 engineering services for the Farrell Road over Spring Creek Improvement Project to Hutchinson Engineering in the amount of $15,000. It's an extension for Phase 2 engineering for that project. Council Memo 1026, approval of payments for contractor snow removal operations for the November 29th to November 30th, 2025 snowstorm in the amount of $135,505.50. Council Memo 1126, award a contract for the 2026 aluminum sulfate purchase to USA LCO LLC for the not to exceed amount of $792,805. Council Memo 1226, award of contract for the 2026 biosolid disposal program to New Era Spreading Inc. in the amount of $2,516,550. This is for our sludge, to take the sludge from our wastewater to farms. Council Memo 1326, award of contract for the 2026 drinking water sodium hypochlorite purchase to Univar Solutions USA LLC for the not to exceed amount of $467,325. So this is a main chemical for our drinking water, and we're getting a 0% increase over last year, so staying the same as last year. Council Memo 1426, award professional services agreement for water treatment residual rule compliance assistance to Duffield Consulting Engineers for the not to exceed amount of $46,284. Council Memo 1526, approval of purchase of 1 vehicle mounted hydraulic valve turning machine for the Public Utilities Department from EH Wax in the amount of $32,794. Council Memo 1626, approval of change order number 1 for the Railroad Street Water Main Improvement Project on behalf of PT Farrell Construction for adjustments to project completion dates. So we're going to see a lot of them the next few that are just time extensions for projects that we had going on in water that we were not able to get done before winter hit. And so we just need extensions of those timelines to those contracts to comply with IEPA regulations. So it's just a time extension. And it will be extended until May 30th of 2026. Approval of change order number 1 for the Hickory Creek West Water Main Improvement Project to Aries Inc. for a deduction in the amount of $559,493.40 and pay estimate number 6 and final in the amount of $1,148,647.82. This is for the final closeout of a completed project. Council Memo 1826, approval of payment for emergency repairs to the water main in the Des Plaines River crossing to Aries Inc. in the amount of $388,881.01. If there are no questions on consent, I'll move to agenda items. Council Memo 2026, approval of change order number 1 for the Broadway Theodore to Ruby Water Main Improvement Project on behalf of Austin Tyler Construction Inc. for adjustments to project completion dates. So this is another time extension that we need for the same purpose as the last one. Council Memo 2126, approval of change order number 1 for the North Prairie Water Main Improvement Project on behalf of Austin Tyler for adjustments to project completion dates. So again, a time-only extension needed. Licenses and permit applications. Council Memo 23-26, issuance of Class B liquor license at 50 East Jefferson Street which is our new restaurant at the train station, Casa Katrina. It'll be a Class B license, so consumption on premises only. Council Memo 2426, issuance of Class D liquor license at 800 North Rainer Avenue for Sharks Fish and Chicken. This will be for beer and wine for consumption on premises. And issuance of a Class D liquor license at 325 South Larkin Avenue, another Sharks Fish and Chicken for beer and wine on premise.
Mayor, I'm sorry.
No, go.
I just had a really quick question about the one on South Larkin Avenue. Does anybody know, because I tried to get the answer today, how much seating there actually is in that restaurant? Do we have anyone here from Sharks tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Would you mind coming up? I'm sorry? 24. 24 seating for 24 people? Yeah. Okay. The one on Larkin Avenue at McDonough.
Yeah,
12? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Mayor, just to be clear, for people watching, Beth, and I think you already did it, to be honest, but I just want to reiterate it, because they're both premises only. Class B means they can serve any alcohol. They can make you a whiskey sour if you want, or a 7-7, or scotch on the rocks. Class D means beer and wine only.
Yep,
Thank you.
exactly.
Mr. Mayor. Is this gentleman, are you affiliated to one on Collins Street?
No.
Okay, they're all independently owned? Or do you own any
I'm the one who owns the one in Crystal too.
in Crystal?
Right.
Okay.
The one that I think is the.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could come so everyone could hit it at home?
You don't mind coming to the podium, do you?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, I own the one in, I don't own the one on Collins, I own the one in Crystal in the Food for Less Plaza.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did anybody from the city do any calls for service or do any checking things out in Crystal and making sure we're all good? I'm okay with it. I just want to make sure.
The Crystal location does not have liquor,
Right.
so if anybody wants to go and check on that store, I absolutely have no problem.
Right. I just didn't know if anybody from the city went.
Kevin, do you have anything to add to that?
We did not do a report on calls of service for the Crest Hill one. I was, before the hearing, I didn't know they owned that one. It didn't have a liquor license. We did check that out. There didn't seem to be any issues there. So
You mind calling the mayor tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely.
And just make sure that thumbs up
Yep.
so everybody here is
yeah,
good.
before the vote tomorrow.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
For sure. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Anything else?
We're good, thanks.
And
Thank
Mayor,
you.
which one do you own here? Are you going to own in Joliet?
Yeah, we're gonna own two of them.
Rainer and Larkin?
Brenner and Larkin. Brenner and Larkin are joint ownership between me and my brother, who also, we own multiple other businesses.
And
together.
why don't you serve alcohol at the other one? At the Cresthill one?
Well, that location, we did not want alcohol in it from the beginning, so these two we did.
So it was your choice?
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
All good.
All good.
Tomorrow we will have a public hearing for a boundary agreement between the city of Joliet and the village of Elwood.
Mayor.
Yep.
Dawson, I sent you an email today, just if you can clarify in layman's terms what we're doing here.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Councilor Clement had asked, what's the deal with this, basically, I think is a fair representation of the question. The city of Joliet and the village of Elwood have not had a boundary line agreement since 2019. This public hearing and ordinance establishes or proposes at your pleasure to reestablish a boundary line agreement between the two municipalities. On the west side of the boundary line agreement that is included in the packet that you can review is substantially the same. Now, the east side of that boundary line agreement is different because in the intervening years between 2019 and now, there were a number of parcels, to the public's comment, that have been annexed into the city of Joliet. We, the city of Joliet, propose stopping that boundary line agreement where those parcels have been annexed or signed a pre-annexation agreement. So we kind of stopped that further expansion of our southern and southwestern expansion. So that when you look at the map, it should look substantially the same, except for that eastern portion where we did have a number of acres come into the city through annexation.
Thank you.
Joe, we've had several meetings too with Elwood, and everybody's happy with the agreement.
Question, Mayor. Dustin, from the 2019 boundaries we had, if I understood you right, Joliet went beyond that old boundary, further south, before we had this agreement.
In 2019, we did not, but when that boundary line agreement did expire,
Right.
we went past where that expired
Where it used to
line
be.
was. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on that one? Okay, moving to ordinances and resolutions. Council Memo 29-26, ordinances associated with Briggs Street subdivision. Dustin's also here to answer any questions if anyone has any there. The Plan Commission recommended approval 6-0. It's for a Dunkin' Donuts and drive-through.
I'm good with that. Thank
You
you.
good with it?
Oh, yeah, I'm good with that.
Council Memo 30-26, ordinance approving an intergovernmental cooperative planning and boundary agreement between the Village of Elwood and the City of Joliet. So this is the actual ordinance that we'll pass tomorrow. Council Memo 32-26, we've moved on to resolutions. Authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Joliet and Will County. This is about radio frequencies put forth by Chief Carey. Council Memo 33-26, resolution appropriating supplemental motor fuel tax funds for amendment number 2 to the Phase 2 engineering services for the Fail Road Bridge over Spring Creek Improvement Project. This is housekeeping from the item we talked about earlier. That concludes the agenda for tomorrow.
Next is public comments. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening?
This comment I need to say is, happened to me before Christmas after the last city council meeting. Before Christmas, I had expressed my, difficulties that I'm having with treatment, or trying to get my health treatment done. I had a thing with Genesis Orthopedics to where I had appointments set up in order to go there to get treatment on my injuries that I've gotten from the attacks I've suffered. And before Christmas, there was that downfall with Joliet Orthopedics, but before Christmas, I had Joliet police come up to my door twice because this Joliet facility, Joliet's Genesis Orthopedics of Joliet, decided to call the Joliet police on me because they felt, I'm going to try hurting myself, I'm going to try doing something to myself or anything because they got me so upset. I'm getting tired of having to explain to cops and firefighters and all this thing about my feelings, of how my body feels, and getting tired of having to keep telling people that I'm not trying to hurt myself, but if people keep on pushing me and keep on upsetting me, my heart is just gonna stop. My heart hurts so much and everything, I cannot keep on taking the stress. And I cannot keep taking the stress of trying to hear cops trying to hold me up to mental wards and everything, because that's not gonna solve my problems, it's not gonna take my pains away, or anything. I get tired of this, but I got pissed with Genesis Orthopedics because of what they did to me in the first place, because denying me my treatment when I had my appointment set up with them, and they were supposed to get my x-rays from my other doctor who recommended me to them. That's not my job to get the x-rays to the other doctors. The doctors are supposed to intervene and get together and send the appropriate medical result, medical information. I walk in, expect to go in for my appointment, and I get rudely accepted by them. Oh, did I get my x-rays done? I said I had the x-rays done before I even made the appointment with them. X-rays were already done. Well, they expected me to have new x-rays, and I'm like, how do I do that without another doctor's orders saying I gotta go and get more x-rays done? How do you expect me to do that? They expected me to do that, and with that, they were all rude and everything with me. I had a right to be mad. I had a right to be upset. And they expect me to pull a rabbit out of a hat and do magic. I can't do that. I can't go into any x-ray place and say, hey, I want x-rays done. Believe me, they don't let you do that. So it's just been an ongoing thing with Genesis Orthopedics of Joliet, to where right before Christmas, they end up calling the cops twice. I had cops coming to my Shorewood, the motel where I'm staying at in Shorewood, and pounding on my door. And I got to try to explain to them, I'm not trying to do anything to myself, that they're doing it to me, and I want it all to stop. I don't want any more of this abuse, because it abuses me. It mentally messes me up, and I couldn't even pay attention to what I had to do legally. I had some legal matters I had to do. I couldn't even concentrate on doing that because of them. I'm just tired of the abuse from Joliet companies and everything. It's just gotta stop. The situation I'm in is not my fault, and I can't help it. I'm where I'm at. I'm trying my hard to keep fighting and keep going on with life. But I'm not doing anything to myself. Everybody else is, and I want it all to stop. Please. Get a hold of Joliet Orthopedics and tell them, why'd you do this? And tell them to stop. Because even the motel does not let the cops go in there. You have the cops call on you enough times, you get kicked out. So please, get a hold of Joliet Orthopedics and tell them to stop doing this. And it was all their fault to begin with. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Seeing none, there is no request for closed session this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Mayor, hang on one second. I just had two things. I want to thank Greg Ruddy. Thanks for the lights traffic lights at Ingalls and Broadway. The east-west lights are staying on green for a long time. He's working on it. And then thank you for all the calls on potholes. You guys are doing a great job with that. Then I had one thing for Todd. Can you look into the Malner's tap issue? I've had a lot of people, for some reason, asking, and they're just looking for some answers. I told them it's in litigation, but other than that, I don't have any other information. So,
Sure.
thank you.
I can look into that.
Thanks.
So, as long as we're talking about traffic lights, Rainer and Western, it's way too long as you're going east. If you're going west, it changes really quick, but it goes forever if you're going west. Just thank you.
Mayor, I'm going to jump right in here with a positive. Dustin, thank you very much. Looking at the boundary agreement is great, and I believe we have current boundary agreements with all of our neighbors now.
I want to say yes, but I
They
would
occurred
be.
before you got here, I understand
Yeah.
that, right? But thank you for this boundary agreement. You did a good job.
Thanks.
Wait, before we end, since we're all on a positive note here tonight, I just want to let Pauline, the Economic Development Director, know what a fantastic job I think her and her team are doing. Because that corner of McDonough and Larkin Avenue was a real eyesore and empty for more than a year. And every single building that I've mentioned to her, also the one in Ingalls Park, the Dunkin' Donuts, I mentioned that building to you. You've been on it like, it is amazing. You guys are doing an amazing job, and I really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.